You are about to look at yourself in a way most people never dare to. Not through the lens of doubt, fear, or the opinions of others, but through clarity. Many people go through life reacting to what happens around them, letting circumstances shape how they feel about themselves. Stoic strength teaches something different. It teaches that your value is not decided by the noise around you but by the discipline inside you. When you truly understand this, your perspective begins to change. You stop chasing approval, and you start building character. That shift alone can transform your entire life. Most people underestimate how powerful their mind really is. They wake up, scroll through distractions, compare themselves to others, and slowly convince themselves they are not enough. But the truth is that strength is built quietly, in the moments when no one is watching. Every time you choose patience instead of anger, focus instead of distraction, and courage instead of fear, you reshape who you are. Stoic thinkers believe that the greatest victory a person can achieve is mastery over their own mind. When you start practicing that daily, you begin to see yourself with more respect. There is a moment in life when you realize that waiting for validation is a trap. The world is full of opinions, and if you listen to all of them, you will lose your direction. Stoic strength reminds you that your path should be guided by values, not approval. When you stop needing everyone to agree with you, you become calmer, more focused, and more confident. That quiet confidence is powerful because it cannot be easily shaken. Many people struggle because they attach their identity to temporary things. Status changes, money comes and goes, and people's opinions shift constantly. But character is something deeper. Stoicism teaches that what truly belongs to you is your judgment, your actions, and your mindset. When you build yourself from these foundations, you stop feeling lost. Instead, you feel grounded, no matter what happens around you. Think about how often people limit themselves before even trying. They say things like, "I'm not ready," or "maybe later," or "I don't think I can do that." These thoughts slowly build invisible walls around their potential. Stoic strength breaks those walls by encouraging action and responsibility. You begin to realize that progress comes from effort, not perfection. Once that truth sinks in, you start approaching life differently. One of the hardest lessons to learn is that not everyone will understand your growth. When you begin to think differently, act with discipline, and set boundaries, some people may feel uncomfortable. But that discomfort is part of transformation. Stoic wisdom reminds us that growth often feels lonely at first because you are stepping away from habits that once controlled you. The more you accept this, the stronger you become. There is also a powerful realization that changes how you see yourself. You are not your past mistakes. Many people carry guilt and regret like a heavy weight on their shoulders. They replay old moments in their mind and convince themselves that those mistakes define who they are. Stoic strength teaches the opposite. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. When you focus on what you can control now, you reclaim your power. Another shift happens when you stop fearing challenges. Instead of asking why something difficult is happening to you, you begin to ask what it is trying to teach you. This mindset alone separates people who grow from people who remain stuck. Every obstacle becomes a training ground for your mind. Every setback becomes a test of your resilience. Over time, you start realizing that the struggles you once feared are the same ones making you stronger. Confidence built through stoic strength is very different from the confidence most people chase. It is not loud, and it does not depend on attention. It is quiet and steady. It comes from knowing that you can handle what life throws at you. When you develop this kind of confidence, people notice something different about you. You move with calm, you speak with clarity, and you act with purpose. Many people spend years trying to impress others while ignoring their own potential. They chase trends, approval, and recognition, hoping it will make them feel valuable. But the truth is that real respect starts within. When you commit to improving yourself daily, even in small ways, you begin to see your worth more clearly. That internal respect changes how others see you as well. There is a deep power in learning to pause before reacting. Most conflicts, regrets, and mistakes happen in moments of uncontrolled emotion. Stoic philosophy encourages reflection before action. When you give yourself a moment to think, you protect your peace and your reputation. This simple habit can transform relationships, decisions, and opportunities in your life. At some point, you may notice that the things that once bothered you no longer have the same effect. Criticism becomes easier to handle, distractions lose their pull, and negativity feels less powerful. This is a sign that your mindset is evolving. You are no longer controlled by everything happening around you. Instead, you are guiding your own reactions and focusing on what truly matters. Another powerful truth is that discipline creates freedom. At first, discipline may feel restrictive, like you are forcing yourself to follow rules or routines. But over time, it becomes a source of confidence and control. When you build consistent habits, you remove chaos from your life. That stability allows you to pursue bigger goals with clarity. Many viewers watching this video may feel like they are searching for direction. That feeling is more common than you think. The important thing is not to rush the process but to commit to growth. Every day offers a new opportunity to improve your mindset, your habits, and your actions. Stoic strength is not built overnight, but with consistent effort, it becomes a powerful part of who you are. You might begin to notice that you no longer tolerate situations that drain your energy. This is not arrogance, it is awareness. When you respect yourself, you naturally create boundaries. You start choosing environments, conversations, and goals that align with your growth. That shift protects your peace and helps you stay focused on what truly matters. If this message is already changing the way you think, then you are on the right path. Growth begins with awareness, and awareness begins with reflection. If you want more content like this that helps you strengthen your mindset and build a powerful life philosophy, make sure you subscribe to this channel and stay connected. There is much more ahead that can transform how you see yourself and the world around you. One of the greatest lessons Stoic strength teaches is that time is limited. Many people postpone their growth because they believe they have endless opportunities ahead. But life moves quickly, and the sooner you start building your mindset, the more meaningful your journey becomes. When you treat time with respect, you naturally become more focused and intentional. There is also something powerful about learning to stand alone when necessary. Not everyone will agree with your choices, and that is perfectly fine. Your purpose is not to fit into every expectation but to develop your character. When you become comfortable standing by your values, you gain a level of confidence that cannot be easily shaken. Eventually, you reach a point where you realize that the real competition is not other people. The real challenge is becoming better than who you were yesterday. This perspective removes unnecessary pressure and helps you focus on progress. Each small improvement becomes a victory that strengthens your mindset. Some people will watch this and feel a spark inside them, a realization that they are capable of more than they believed. That spark is important. It is the beginning of transformation. What matters now is what you do after this moment. Will you return to old habits, or will you start building the discipline and clarity that Stoic strength requires? As this message settles in your mind, take a moment to reflect on your life. Think about the habits you want to change, the mindset you want to develop, and the person you want to become. The journey begins with a decision, and that decision can start today. The more you commit to growth, the more your self-image will transform. And remember this clearly. The version of you that doubts your potential is not the final version of you. With discipline, reflection, and courage, you can reshape how you see yourself and how the world sees you. If you found value in this message and want more powerful Stoic insights that strengthen your mind and transform your life, subscribe to this channel and join this growing community of people committed to becoming stronger every single day. The moment you start seeing yourself differently is the moment your life begins to change. Most people live with an image of themselves that was shaped by past failures, criticism, and moments when things did not go their way. Over time, that image becomes a quiet voice in their mind that tells them what they can or cannot do. Stoic strength challenges that voice. It asks you to question whether the limits you believe in are truly real or simply habits of thinking that were never corrected. When you begin to reflect on this deeply, something powerful happens. You realize that your identity is not fixed. It is shaped daily by your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Many people go through years of life reacting instead of directing. They react to pressure, to expectations, to opinions, and to fear. The Stoic mindset teaches something far more powerful. It teaches that a strong person does not let the outside world control their inner state. Instead, they develop the ability to remain steady even when life becomes difficult. When you truly understand this, you begin to notice how much energy you used to waste on things that never deserved your attention. This realization alone can feel like waking up from a long sleep. One of the most important shifts you can make is learning to observe your thoughts instead of immediately believing them. Not every thought that appears in your mind is true or useful. Some are simply habits created by years of doubt or comparison. Stoic thinkers practice stepping back from their emotions and examining them calmly. When you learn to do this, you gain a kind of mental freedom that many people never experience. Instead of being controlled by negative thinking, you begin to guide your own mind. There is also a quiet truth that many people avoid hearing. Growth requires honesty with yourself. It requires looking at your habits, your reactions, and your choices without making excuses. This is not about criticizing yourself, it is about understanding yourself clearly. The more honest you become, the more power you gain to improve. Stoic strength is built on this kind of self-awareness, because change cannot happen if you refuse to see what needs to change. Another reason people struggle to see themselves clearly is because they constantly compare their journey to someone else's progress. Comparison creates frustration, and frustration creates self-doubt. The Stoic approach is different. Instead of comparing yourself to others, you measure yourself against your own potential. You focus on whether you are improving, learning, and growing stronger than you were before. This shift removes unnecessary pressure and allows you to move forward with confidence. As you continue thinking about this, you might begin to notice that many of the fears you carry are not as solid as they once felt. Fear often grows in the imagination, becoming larger than the reality itself. Stoic philosophy encourages facing fears with calm reasoning instead of avoiding them. When you face something you once feared, even in a small way, your confidence expands. Each step forward weakens the hold that fear had over you. There is a moment in personal growth where you start understanding the value of silence and reflection. The modern world constantly pushes noise, distractions, and endless information. But strength often grows in quiet moments when you step back and think about your direction. Reflection allows you to correct mistakes, refine your mindset, and reconnect with what truly matters. The more you practice this, the clearer your sense of self becomes. Another important part of Stoic strength is learning how to handle criticism. People will always have opinions, and some of those opinions may not be fair or accurate. Instead of reacting emotionally, Stoic thinkers would ask a simple question: is there something useful in this criticism that can help me improve? If the answer is yes, they would learn from it. If the answer is no, they would let it go without wasting energy. This balanced approach protects your peace while still allowing you to grow. Many people never realize how much power they give away to things they cannot control. They worry about what others think, they stress over outcomes they cannot guarantee, and they feel overwhelmed by situations outside their influence. Stoic philosophy simplifies life by focusing on one powerful principle: direct your energy toward what you can control and release what you cannot. When you start living by this principle, your mind becomes calmer and your actions become more effective. At some point in your journey, you will begin to notice a deeper form of confidence developing within you. This confidence does not depend on applause, validation, or recognition. It comes from knowing that you are working on yourself with honesty and discipline. Even if progress is slow, you trust the process. This kind of confidence is incredibly strong because it is built from within rather than borrowed from others. You may also begin to understand that discomfort is often a sign of growth. Many people avoid challenges because they want to stay comfortable, but comfort rarely leads to transformation. Stoic strength teaches you to accept discomfort as part of improvement. When you practice discipline, develop new habits, and challenge your mindset, it may feel difficult at first. But those moments are shaping you into a stronger version of yourself. There is something powerful about realizing that you are responsible for the direction of your life. This idea can feel heavy at first, but it is also incredibly freeing. If your choices shape your future, then you are not trapped by your past. Every decision you make today becomes part of the person you are becoming. This awareness motivates you to think more carefully about how you spend your time and energy. As you continue growing, you might notice that your priorities start changing. Things that once seemed very important may no longer matter as much. You begin valuing peace, discipline, and clarity over approval and temporary excitement. This shift is a sign that your mindset is maturing. Stoic strength encourages focusing on what has lasting value rather than chasing what only provides short-term satisfaction. Another powerful lesson is learning how to stay steady during difficult times. Life will always include challenges, losses, and unexpected situations. Stoic philosophy does not promise a life without hardship. Instead, it prepares you to face hardship with resilience. When something difficult happens, instead of collapsing emotionally, you remind yourself that this moment is part of the human experience. That perspective helps you remain strong when others might give up. The way you talk to yourself also plays a major role in how you see yourself. Many people are far more critical of themselves than they would ever be towards someone else. Stoic strength encourages balanced thinking. Acknowledge mistakes, learn from them, but do not let them define your identity. When your inner dialogue becomes more supportive and constructive, your confidence naturally increases. Another realization that changes people deeply is understanding that respect starts from within. If you constantly ignore your values or compromise your principles just to please others, you slowly lose respect for yourself. But when you begin to live according to your beliefs, even when it is difficult, you strengthen your character. Over time, that self-respect becomes visible in the way you carry yourself. You may also start noticing that discipline is not about forcing yourself to suffer but about building a structure that supports your goals. When your daily habits align with your values, life becomes more organized and purposeful. Instead of drifting through each day, you begin moving with direction. That sense of direction makes you see yourself as someone capable and determined. If this message is helping you reflect more deeply about your life, then you are already taking an important step forward. Awareness is often the beginning of transformation. Many people live on autopilot without questioning their mindset or direction. The fact that you are thinking about these ideas means you are moving toward a stronger version of yourself. If you want more content like this that helps you strengthen your mindset, build discipline, and develop stoic strength in your daily life, make sure you subscribe to this channel. This community is growing with people who want clarity, resilience, and real personal growth. Your support by subscribing also helps this message reach more people who may need it. As you move forward after watching this, try to remember one simple but powerful idea. The person you become is shaped by what you practice every day. Small improvements may seem insignificant at first, but over time they create remarkable change. Each moment you choose patience, focus, and courage, you are building a stronger identity. And the most important truth to carry with you is this: you are not finished growing. No matter where you are right now, there is always another level of discipline, clarity, and strength waiting to be developed. The journey of stoic strength is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming more aware, more resilient, and more aligned with your values each day. If this message changed the way you see yourself even a little, then that means the transformation has already begun. Stay committed to growth, keep reflecting on your mindset, and remember to subscribe to this channel for more powerful insights that will help you become the strongest version of yourself.